අද්විතීය 200 Mbps ස්පීඩ් එකකින් ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ වේගවත්ම සහ පුළුල්තම හෝම් බ්‍රෝඩ්බෑන්ඩ් සම්බන්ධතාවය වන SLT මොබිටෙල් දේශීය ෆයිබර් බලවේගය ඔබත් අදම අත්විඳින්න.
හරිම සුළුයි.
Tonight on First at 9 this Saturday the 5th of August 2023. Achieving goals. President Ranil Wickremesinghe calls on architects to contribute in mitigating climate change.
From now onwards, our architects will have to conform to climate change criteria.
Tariff hike. CEB requests the Public Utilities Commission to consider a tariff adjustment to address challenges. PUCSL responds with a no. Halted. Steps will be taken to halt the emergency purchases of medicine, says the Minister of Health.
Alliance Finance මෙතුරු රන්නයි සේවාවෙන් රන් පවුම්කට රුපියල් 1,70,000ක ඉහළ අධිකාරම.
ඔබේ විශ්වාසය දිනු සෙන්සුරයින් දැන් ළඟමැති ෆාමසියෙන් ලබාගත හැක.
This is AdaDerana First at 9. Live from Studio 24 in Colombo.
Good evening and welcome to AdaDerana First at 9. I'm AdaDerana joining you live with the latest in Sri Lanka and around the world. Now in your top story tonight, President Ranil Wickremesinghe highlighted that opportunities provided in the field of architecture must be taken by Sri Lanka, which in return will pave the way for the country to build up its reputation. Addressing a gathering at a conference this morning, the President went on to say that the Sri Lankan architects will be qualified in climate change architecture by adhering to climate change criteria. Further, the head of state said that the government is expecting to establish an international climate change university in Kothmale.
An international conference on architecture organised by Sri Lankan chapter of the Royal Institute of British Architects in collaboration with the American Institute of Architects and the Italian Embassy of Sri Lanka was held in Colombo this morning under the patronage of President Ranil Wickremesinghe.
Policy thrust is to get the private sector in on the areas of construction of buildings, of houses that come along. Then as the economy picks up, certainly there will be more skyscrapers, more high-rise buildings and more houses which people will build. But we have to plan out where we do it and how we do it and how we develop our own transport system. So this is where I feel the future is, and this is where we have to work. I hope in time to come, even Port City will give an opportunity of designing. Part of the Port City land belongs to the government and we will be also giving it out. I hope the private sector who takes part will also make use of your talents. I think that's a matter you all have to discuss with the chambers and others. So these are the opportunities that are coming in for Sri Lanka. We should make use of it to make a name for ourselves. Remember, there's going to be opportunity in India as it grows. If you have a name, why not go there? Already some are designing houses there into Africa. So ensure that we use this opportunity for architects to develop themselves. We can make Colombo a very beautiful city. Already Subana Jurong has given us that plan. So on that we go ahead. We've also got another Subana Jurong layout for Trincomalee. So that's another area. They'll also be working on a tourist zone from Verugalaru down to Batiklo and then again in the Arugambe areas. Jaffna has its potential. So as we push the tourist industry, as we go in for expansion, I hope we will also succeed in getting non-government university in Sri Lanka. The new act enabling provincial councils to establish universities is the start, and then it's a question of how much we need at least 10,000 engineers. We need more architects, IT specialists. Sri Lanka is committed for the climate change goals, and when I took over, the climate change goals were to be achieved in 2060. I made it to 2050. Now this UN session, the Secretary General is asking to accelerate the agenda. So we are also looking whether we can do this prior to 2050. I think we can, but from now onwards, our architects will have to conform to climate change criteria. Make use of it, because that means Sri Lankan architects will qualify in climate change architecture, mitigation architecture long before others. By law, we will ask buildings in the future to comply with the climate mitigation standards. That's a new area. that's coming in. And we will look at how we go ahead. On this, we can identify some of these aspects to be included in the International Climate Change University, which we hope to set up in the old Kotmale Skanska camp and the ones surrounding it. So it will be as big as the Peradeniya campus. Then it's a question of how you make it a lasting impact. That's your job of doing it.
Meanwhile, the State Electricity Supply has requested the Public Utilities Commission to immediately consider a tariff adjustment to address the challenges faced by the Ceylon Electricity Board. The CEB says that the tariff approved by the PUCSL resulted in a reduction of approximately 33 billion rupees in total expenditure for the year compared to what the CEB had envisaged, adding that it would certainly lead them to incur losses by the end of this year. However, the PUCSL has responded to the Ceylon Electricity Board in a letter stating that the revised tariff is sufficient.
In a letter to the Public Utilities Commission, the Ceylon Electricity Board claims that the tariff approved by the PUCSL resulted in a reduction of approximately 33 billion rupees in total expenditure for the year compared to what the CEB had envisaged. The CEB stated that this reduction will definitely cause them to incur losses by the end of this year, leading to a deviation from the government's policy directives. The CEB further stated that the reduction will have a significant negative impact on their ability to settle arrears for renewable power generators and other debtors. According to the letter, the CEB has to pay 29.7 billion rupees to the renewable power generators. The Ceylon Electricity Board highlighted that the new tariff set by the Public Utilities Commission deviates from the cost-reflective nature of the end-user tariff. The letter requests the power regulator to immediately consider a tariff adjustment to address the challenges faced by the CEB. However, when inquired by the PUCSL, the power regulator said they have responded to the Ceylon Electricity Board via letter stating that the revised tariff is sufficient.
Now, the Minister of Health, Keheliya Ramukwala, says that steps will be taken to bring the emergency procurement of medicine to a complete halt within the next few months. Addressing a media briefing in Colombo, the minister said that 95% of the financial difficulties faced during the procurement of medicines have been solved by the ministry. Further, the health minister expressed confidence that the shortcomings prevalent in the country's health sector can be addressed.
$1 million 237ක් අපිට ලැබුණා ඉන්දියානු ක්‍රෙඩිට් ලයින් එක. මේ වෙනකොට 207ක් අපි පාවිච්චි කරලා තියෙනවා. ඒ 207 තුල අපේ බෙහෙත් ජාති 600කට ආසන්න ප්‍රමාණයක් ඇණවුම් කරලා තියෙනවා. ඒකෙන් 294ක් මේ වෙනකොට අපි ලබාගෙන තියෙනවා. ඒ බෙහෙත් වලින් එකක් quality failure එකක් තියෙනවා. ගුණාත්මයෙන් නඩු වෙච්ච batches කීපයක් සම්බ වෙලා තියෙනවා. පළවෙනි ඕඩර් එකේ සිට අවම මාස 6ක් මාස 9ක් අතර යනම ඕඩර්ස් දෙන්න. එවැනි කාලයක් යන නිසා අපිට තිබ්බා ක්‍රමවේදයක් හදිසි මිලදීම් ගැනීම කියන එක. හදිසි මිලදීම් ගැනීම සහ සාමාන්‍ය මිලදී ගැනීම වල කාලය පමණයි අඩු වෙන්නේ. ක්‍රමවේදයේ කිසිම අඩුවක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ටෙන්ඩර් බෝඩ් එකෙන් අනුමත විය යුතුමයි. නැතුව මේ Tamanට ඕන අයට බෙහෙත් ගේනවයි කියන එක සම්පූර්ණ මුසාවක්. අඩුපාඩු තියෙන. හැබැයි අපිට පාලනය කරගන්න පුළුවන් තරමකට ඒක තියෙනවා. අපි විශ්වාස කරනවා ඊගා මාස කිහිපය තුළ හදිසි මිල ගැනීම කියන එක තහනම් මේව නැත්තම් ඒක අයිවත් කරන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා. මේක යම්කිසි විදිහේ ස්ථාවර වුණා.
මේ වෙලාවේ සෞඛ්‍ය ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා කියන එක සෞඛ්‍ය අමුදිවරයා කියලා ඔක්කොම පිළිගන්නවා.
අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා. ඒ ප්‍රශ්න තියෙන නිසාම තමයි සමස්තයක් හැටියට ගත්තාම මේ මොහොතේ මේ තියෙන අපහසුකම් එක්ක මේ විශාල කැපවීම එක්ක තමයි අපි මේ තත්ත්වය හරි මේන්ටේන් කරගෙන යන්නේ. මුදල් ප්‍රශ්න මේ වෙනකොට 95%ක්ම අපි විසඳගෙන තියෙනවා.
ඉන්සෝටින් නැහැද
මේ වෙනකොට උවමනා ප්‍රමාණය ආරෝග්‍ය ශාලාවල තියෙනවා කියන එකයි එතුමා මට කිව්වේ. ප්‍රධාන ගබඩාවේ නැහැ. ඒක හරි. ටෙන්ඩර්ස් කෝන්ස් කරන්න 3 දෙනෙකුට මේ වෙනකොට මේක බාර අරන් තියෙනවා. ඒ කට්ටියට දඬුවමුත් ලැබෙනවා. ඒ අය ඒක අරගෙන අහවල් දවසේ දෙන්නම් කිව්වහම කවදාවත් එදාට දීලා නැහැ. විශේෂයෙන්ම ඉන්සුලින් ප්‍රශ්නේ.
Meanwhile, Sri Lankan High Commissioner in New Delhi, Milinda Moragoda, says the new India-Sri Lanka Economic Partnership for Maritime, Energy and Financial Connectivity can be a key step towards addressing the sensitivities of both countries and forging strong relations. The Sri Lankan envoy said if Sri Lanka fails to take advantage of India's economic growth, the island nation will not be able to grow as fast as it needs to.
During an interview with the Indian newspaper Hindustan Times, Sri Lankan High Commissioner in New Delhi, Milinda Moragoda, said the implementation of the new India-Sri Lanka Economic Partnership for Maritime, Energy and Financial Connectivity can be a key step towards addressing the sensitivities of both countries and forging strong relations. The proposed partnership was unveiled during Sri Lankan President Ranil Wickremesinghe's visit to India last month. Moragoda also said Sri Lanka is eyeing greater economic integration to benefit from India's growth, adding that the island nation also hopes that India will play a key role in private sector investments and divestment plans. Moragode also said Sri Lanka is eyeing greater economic integration to benefit from India's growth, adding that the island nation also hopes that India will play a key role in private sector investments and divestment plans. Further, he is of the view that the economic partnership is crucial for connectivity, economic integration and investments, including the resumption of ferry services, expanded air connectivity and the transformation of the Trincomalee oil tank farms into a regional energy hub. Moragode added that if Sri Lanka fails to take advantage of India's economic growth, the island nation will not be able to grow as fast as it needs to. Further, the Sri Lankan envoy highlighted that both Sri Lanka and India are holding technical discussions to decide on the most economical and efficient way to connect their energy grids, with the new technology facilitating a cheaper undersea option, and added that the two sides are looking at private investments to increase the pace of the proposed infrastructural developments.
Now, in a bid to improve connectivity in the country, the Yal-Nila special train service began operations yesterday, being the latest train service from Colombo to Kankasanthurei. However, the Minister of Transport and Highways, Dr. Bandulu Gunawardena, revealed that the special train service will only be operational until January next year. Meanwhile, the Sitavaka Odyssey train service has extended its operations to Saturday after operating only on Sundays for nearly 6 months. According to the subject minister, Dr. Bandulu Gunawardena, with this latest development, the Sitavaka Odyssey train service is expected to promote Avisavella as a tourist destination to both local and foreign tourists.
The special train service, Yal-Nila, commenced operations yesterday, targeting both local and foreign tourists. The express train, which is the latest train service from Colombo Fort to Kankasanthurei, started its journey from the Mount Lavinia train station last night. Minister of Transport and Highways, Dr. Bandulu Gunawardena, was present at the Fort Railway Station to supervise the commencement of the operations of the Yal-Nila Express train service. The Yal-Nila train service is equipped with first-class air-conditioned compartments. The new express train service, which only operates during weekends, starts its journey from the Mount Lavinia train station every Friday at 10 p.m. Passengers are able to book seats online and also reserve seats at the train station itself. The first-class tickets are priced at 4,000 rupees, whereas the second and third-class tickets are priced at 3,000 rupees and 2,000 rupees respectively. The Yal-Nila Express train, which arrived at the Kankasanthurei train station at 6:30 a.m. today, is expected to leave the station at 9:30 p.m. tomorrow to reach Mount Lavinia.
මේ සියලුම මැදිරි වායු සමීකරණය කරලා තිබෙන්නේ. තාම පිරිසිදුව ආහාර පාන යනාදී සපයන තරුපන්තියේ භෝජන ශාලා තිබෙනවා. පැය භාගෙන් භාගයට දුම්රිය සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම පිරිසිදු කිරීම කෙරෙනවා. නමුත් මේ දුම්රිය සේවාව පවතින්නේ ජනවාරි මාසෙ වෙනතෙක් පමණයි. ජනවාරි වලදී අපි අනුරාධපුරයේ සිට මාවෝ දක්වා මේ මාර්ගය සම්පූර්ණයෙන් ගලවනවා.
Meanwhile, the Sitavaka Odyssey tourist train, which had been operating only on Sundays for the past 6 months, started operations on Saturdays following directives of the Western Province Tourism Board. Accordingly, its maiden journey commenced at 8 a.m. this morning under the patronage of Minister of Transport and Highways, Dr. Bandulu Gunawardena.
ඒ නව සංචාරක ගමනාන්තයක් ලෙස සංවර්ධනය කරන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන අවිස්සාවෙල්ල මැතිවරණ කොට්ටාසේ සීතාවක ප්‍රදේශයේ සංචාරක ප්‍රවර්ධන ව්‍යාපෘතියක් තමයි අද ආරම්භ වෙන්නේ. මීට පසු සෙනසුරාදාත් ඉරිදාත් කියන දින දෙකේම උදේට කොළඹින් පිටත් වෙන දුම්රිය ඒ ලබුගම ජලාශය, කල්ටුවාව ජලාශය, ඊළඟට උද්භිත උද්‍යාන, දිය ඇලි අනාදිය පරිසරක ස්වභාව සෞන්දර්යය පිළිබඳ අධ්‍යක්ෂින් රාශියක් එකතු කරගෙන එදිනම හවස අවිස්සාවෙල්ල සිට අපසු කොළඹට ගමන් කරන්න පුළුවන් සෑම සතියක්ද.
Now, an audit report reveals staggering losses incurred by the Bantala Rajapaksa International Airport. More news after this short commercial break. Stay with us.
ගොඩමට පෙරලි කරන බලපුළුවන් කාරයා මහින්ද්‍රා යුවෝ ටීමෝ වෙතින්. වැඩම ගොඩයි ගොඩම තමයි ස්වරාජ් ට්‍රැක්ටර් ටීමෝ වෙතින්.
Welcome back. Now, the Mattala Rajapaksa International Airport incurred a 42.8 billion rupee cumulative net loss after tax between the years 2017 and 2022. This was revealed by the National Audit Office's report on the operations of the Airport and Aviation Services Lanka Limited Company. The National Audit Office report noted that the operating cost of the airport during the year 2022 was 2.03 billion rupees, which is 26 times higher than the operating income. Further, the report highlighted that the Jaffna International Airport had recorded a cumulative loss of 232.8 million rupees between October 2019 and the end of 2022.
According to the audit report prepared by the National Audit Office based on the financial statements of the Airport and Aviation Services Lanka Limited ending as at the 31st of December 2022, the operating cost of the Mattala Rajapaksa International Airport during the year 2022 was 2.03 billion rupees. Elaborating further on the loss, the Audit Office highlights that the operating cost is 26 times higher than the operating income. The report highlighted that the net loss after tax during the year 2022 was 22.2 billion rupees, mainly due to the effect of the foreign exchange depreciation. As per the report, the cumulative net loss after tax between 2017 to 2022 stands at 42.8 billion rupees. The report noted that although the expected annual passenger capacity of the Mattala airport was around 1 million, the total number of passengers during the last 6 years was only 103,324, while total flight movements of the last 6 years were 2,612. The report further highlighted that a total sum of 36.5 billion rupees incurred for the construction of the airport had not been effectively used, and added that a sum of 1.8 billion rupees had been paid by the Airport and Aviation Services Lanka Limited as the annual loan installment for the debt of $190 million obtained for the said construction. Meanwhile, the report of the National Audit Office noted a cumulative loss of 2.82 billion rupees incurred by the Colombo International Airport in Ratmalana between the period of 2017 to 2022. This includes the loss pertaining to last year at 1.1 billion rupees. In the meantime, the Jaffna International Airport, which commenced its operations on the 17th of October 2019, had recorded a cumulative loss of 232.8 million rupees during the past 4 years. The report stated that during 2022, the revenue generated by the Jaffna Airport stood at 4.7 million rupees, while the operating expenditure recorded 81.8 million rupees.
Now the second reading of the Betting and Gaming Levy Bill to be held in Parliament next week. During the latest meeting of the Committee on Parliamentary Business, a decision has been made to hold parliamentary sessions from the 8th to the 11th of August. According to the Parliament, the second reading of the Betting and Gaming Levy Bill is scheduled to be on the 9th of August. The bill was approved by the Cabinet of Ministers on the 20th of March and was presented to Parliament for the first reading in April. And with that, we wrap up tonight's edition of AdaDerana First at 9. Stay in touch with us on www.adaderana.lk for the latest developments around the clock. Thank you. Have a great night.
For news and information you can trust 24 hours a day, visit AdaDerana.lk.